Hi, I'm Brett.
And I'm Corey.
And I'm Daniel.
And this is the podcast where we talk about everything horror and horror related.
From stories to books, movies, music, and television.
And anything else around the culture of the horror genre. And without further ado,
let's talk horror. All right, gang. We are back. Sorry for no pod last weekend. That's because we were a little bit busy at Days of the Dead. And this episode, we just kind of want to follow up, tell you about our weekend. I mean, I thought it was pretty successful. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it was pretty great. Got to meet a few people, network with some other podcasts and some filmmakers and celebrities.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. There's some pretty cool people there. We met a lot of cool people.
What was your favorite part of the weekend?
We're gonna go right into that. Huh?
Well, no.
The after party, without a doubt, was amazing.
The after party was fucking amazing.
Yeah, they had an evening with the cast of Revenge of the Nerds. A lot of them were there. They had some competitions, a little rap competition. Our local boy Scott won there. He was pretty good from the Day of the Dead's horror tattoo contest. He represented.
Shout out to everybody at Days of the Dead. They were very hospitable, very friendly. Everyone associated with the whole convention really kind of accepted us with open arms. This was our first con that we did. And we were in the vendor room, but technically we weren't selling anything. We were selling the idea of the haunt that we have coming up. And we probably had one of the busiest booths, and we weren't selling a damn thing. People wish we were. I wish we would have had shirts and posters, because what little ones we had walked off.
Well, we didn't have the busiest booth. Brad had the busiest booth.
Beyond a doubt.
As far as the
Brad was a
vendor,
busy
no,
man.
I'm talking as far as vendors. Like in the vendor room, like everybody shows up to these things.
Oh.
If you've never been to a con before, people are selling merch. They're selling signs. They're selling posters. They're selling T-shirts, toys, trinkets, things that they made. We were selling nothing. And there was a buttload of people that came by our booth.
Tons of interest, definitely.
At first, I think they were not quite sure what we were. They'd look and see the banner, Hannah House, and like either they've heard of it or they hadn't heard of it. And either way, that was a route to open up a conversation. I know I personally probably talked to about 1,300 people that weekend.
Least.
I mean, we took, 5,000 flyers? How many did we end up bringing back? Like maybe 1,000?
Oh, maybe less.
I know them little stickers were flying.
Yeah,
Dude,
all over the place.
Every time we'd go out and replenish the flyer table, like next time we'd walk by, all gone. 100% gone. Courtney Gaines from Children of the Corn. He was Malachi, the red-haired guy. What was that? Was that Sunday? No, that was Saturday. It was Saturday. I was walking by his booth, and he wasn't talking to anybody at the time. And we started chit-chatting and everything, and he looked at my shirt. I was wearing a Let's Talk Horror shirt. And he read it and everything, and I started telling him, oh, yeah, it's a podcast. We're doing this haunted house at a real haunted house. And he stops me, and he says, oh, I know. And he holds up a flyer. One of our flyers. He said, everybody's talking about it. I've heard nothing but, like, all weekend. And it's like, how crazy is that Malachi from Children of the Corn has heard about our haunt and said that everybody's talking about it. I thought that was pretty crazy because, again, we were not selling anything. We're just trying to get volunteers and spread the word about what we were doing. And people really gravitated towards it. I feel like that weekend was pretty much a success because we wanted to promo and get some advertising in, and mission accomplished, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely got the name out there. We had a lot of people come by asking, or people that had stories about the house was nice as well.
That was
people
great.
That had been there.
That was great. I wish we would have been able to have the mics like ready to go, because we would talk to people. Oh, have you heard of the Hannah House?
We were set up, but the sound was a little loud.
Yeah, it was a lot of room noise, and we never knew when it was coming because the conversation was, oh, you heard of the Hannah House? Oh, yeah. Me and my friend went there, and they go into this story about all this crazy stuff that had happened to them there. That would be great to like have a compilation of all the stories that we had heard just that weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had like CJ, the guy who was producer writer for the Evil 3. So the name of it. It's coming out soon, but we talked to him, and he actually went and did a private tour the next day, Sunday morning, before he had to be back for showing his movie and things, and it just was great. He said that they felt some things. The woman that went with him was supposedly a medium as well, so she said she definitely felt things in some of the rooms.
Yeah, and he learned about it from
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
awesome. So we're definitely getting exposure to different people. And there's a lot of people from out of state that were there at the con. I noticed a lot of people, and they even thought they were going to come back
Yeah, and a lot of
just
people
to
from
check out the
Chicago,
haunt.
Cincinnati, Columbus. Yeah, the regional people that want to come back and see it.
Oh yeah, any new haunt will bring people.
Yeah, we met a lot of different podcasters. Shout out to Bloody Essentials, Ethan and crew. Got friendly with those cats over the weekend, and they actually want us to be on their podcast, and we wouldn't mind having them on ours. They've expressed interest about coming down possibly during the haunt and doing a podcast from there. I think that's awesome. That's more exposure, especially in the Midwest area. I mean, being one of the most well-known haunts in the entire state, surrounding states have heard of it too. And maybe you've always wanted to come check out, the historic Hannah house. Well, now we're doing a haunted house there too. Might be worth the trip, get a group of friends together, take a little road trip. I think a lot of people will come down for this.
Oh yeah,
A lot of people will drive because it's a unique once in a lifetime kind of experience. People have heard, oh, Hannah house used to do a haunted house and it was awesome. Well, just the fact that it's being brought back has expressed a lot of interest in people to come in and want to check just out of curiosity. Like, oh, I remember that, like nostalgia almost.
the stories are true. There's things there, so
Yeah, there are things there. Yeah.
people definitely need to come check it out because get that feeling for it if you've never been. Because there is a little place of once you get in there, you'll get the energy feeling. It has an energy about it, I think.
And that's a perfect mindset to start a commercial haunt because you're going to go through and get a ghost tour of a real haunted mansion and be all creeped out, and the hairs on your arms going to be standing up, and then you're going to get down in the basement just in time for us to start scaring the shit out of you.
Yep.
It's going to be so much fun because
Oh yeah.
we're just priming the pump. We're just getting them ready. Like going through the house on the ghost tour, that's just a little foreplay, baby. It's just a little foreplay.
Okay.
We're just going to brush your hair a little bit.
Just a little tickle.
And it's not just the house; we're doing it in other areas too. So definitely look out for it.
All the buildings on the property. It'll be a very.
We're gonna utilize everything, guys. So
Be spread out all across the property. So you're going to have different sections that you're going to be moving to, and it's going to be a different experience. And you're going to be ran through in groups. So you're not going to be standing in line in cold, rainy October weather to just get up there and walk through some maze where people go boo. It's going to be a whole experience where you get to experience not only a for real haunted mansion and all the grounds, but also a commercial haunt that's going to be different. It's going to be a unique experience. And I think people are really going to like it. And the more I think about it, the more I talk about it with other people, I think we really have something here that's going to be unique, that people are going to be very refreshed to go through, especially at the cost. $25. Find a haunt that's $25 you can't. And they don't have real ghosts.
but you may see one. You never know.
I mean, just being there, you can have all kinds of stories. I mean, this past weekend, so many people talked to us, sharing all of their stories that they have been in there. And you can have your own story too.
Definitely.
So come out
check
and be
us
part
out.
of the story.
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, it is going to be fun. But Days of the Dead was awesome. I mean, all those
We
guys.
got a website for you guys too to check out if you guys are interested in that.
Plug it.
It is.
Plug it.
Where's he at, Kristen?
It's hauntingatthehannahhouse.com.
Thank you.
Find the links to all the socials for not only Hannah House, but also Let's Talk Horror. Volunteer and vendor sign up also available. Hey, vendors, 0 charge for vendors. So if you have stuff you want to sell and want to be a part of this event, get at us. That was hauntingatthehannahhouse.com. Go there, click the link, sign it up, put the days in, and we're looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, not just vendors looking to sell things, but we're looking people paint faces or jugglers, clowns, any kind of entertainment, people that want to come out and be involved. We're looking for you as well.
Tarot card readers.
Yeah, tarot card, seance. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of
Balloon
possibilities.
artists. Can you
Yeah.
tie up a little balloon dog? We can use you. We can put you somewhere to do something.
We will find a space.
Even if your face is a little off, you look a little weird. Saves us money on makeup. Bring it on. Come on.
Kettle corn.
You got a
Yes.
weird limp. No one's gonna judge you. It'll work. We'll find a character.
Definitely.
In all seriously, that's one thing that's very cool about Halloween is that if you do have something that's a little off, that now works in your favor.
Yes. You
It
know what? The
does.
perfect example of that, I was just watching it today. Rob Zombie always seems to cast people with the perfect face for horror.
Yeah.
They don't have the perfect face for Hollywood besides Sherry, obviously. But the other people he cast in his movies, like 31,
Yeah.
dude, they have the perfect face for horror because they're a little off.
Not symmetrical.
Yeah, they're not symmetrical and they look a little spooky.
I mean, dude from Hills Have Eyes back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what a crazy, creepy looking dude. But perfect.
That's like Tiny from
Yeah, from House
House
of
of
Thousand
Corpses.
Corpses. Yeah, absolutely. It's like in real life, that guy was probably pretty freaky, but in the right context,
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's perfect. And
Yes.
Halloween has a way of doing that. You know, that thing that makes you off with everybody else is the thing that's going to make you a star in that season.
Oh, for sure. So
Well, what we're saying is, if you look
Favorite
weird,
interaction.
come on out. Don't let that discourage you. Come on, we'll work with you.
favorite interaction at Days, Corey.
Oh, I would have to say, man, Donald Gibb, fucking ogre
Yeah.
from Revenge of the Nerds.
I had
Yeah.
that feeling you were gonna go ogre.
Oh man, it's just because in my mind he became my convention buddy. Because every convention that I go to, there's one celebrity that I repeatedly run into, and Ogre was the one that I kept running into this weekend, and it was so awesome because the first time I had an interaction with him, I'm using the restroom, I'm taking a piss, and I'm using one of the stalls because it's busy, and I'm right next to the handicap stall, the larger stall, and I hear someone on their cell phone, "Hey baby, it's me. I had to tell him I had to take a shit so I could come in here and give you a call because it's too loud out there. I miss you, boo." And it was, I knew the voice immediately. His fucking ogre was calling his wife, and he lied to his handler, told him he had to take a shit so he could get away and use the phone somewhere in private. It was hilarious. That was the first interaction, but he didn't know about that one. Obviously, I was just eavesdropping on his call. And later on, I ran into him again. And it was one of those things where he was coming out of somewhere and I was coming out of somewhere, and we just happened to be like walking next to each other. And that happened 4 or 5 times. And finally, I bumped into him literally, and I said, "Hey, how many times has someone wanted you to scream nerds at them this weekend?" And he said, "If I had a penny for every time I heard that, I'd have $1 million today." And he just walked off. And then later on that day, Daniel and I were walking through the celebrity room, and he was sitting there, and there was no one around his booth. And as we walked by, he saw us, and he just looks up, "Hey, nerds." And it was fucking great. He gave that to us for free. We didn't ask him or nothing. He just had seen us throughout the weekend and gave that one to us. That was awesome. And then like on the final day, again, I come out of a room, he comes out of a room, and we're like side by side for whatever reason again. And I come back into our vendor room, and he's right behind me. And he stops, and he's on his phone. He's looking at his phone. He's looking around. He looks kind of lost or whatever. And "Hey man, you need help finding somebody? What are you looking for?" And he said, "Oh, I'm trying to find an actor friend of mine." And I said, "Well, it's probably over in the VIP room." And I tried to show him where it was. I was like, "Who are you looking for?" He's like, "Oh, Costas." He was looking for Costas Mandalore. And I knew
Yeah.
exactly where his booth was.
He was a fun guy too.
So I tried explaining to him, "Well, you just go down this hall here. You can go out these doors. These doors right here. Yeah, out these doors, and then you make a left. Oh, down here or right over by the room. I don't know where I'm going." I said, "Just come on." And so I walked Ogre to fucking Costas Mandalore. I never thought that I would say that phrase in my life, but I did. Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds. Like I had to like lead him to his buddy, Costas Mandalore, down the road.
Oh, we hung out with him at the after party. Daniel has quite a story about that. Let's let him tell it.
Let's hear your ogre stories.
A friend of mine had gone up to him prior to and told him that he was the sexiest motherfucker in the room. And then he took a selfie with her and stuff. I said, "You think that'll work for me?" Well, of course, everybody laughed.
I
and
said, "I dare you."
like these people don't know me. Like I won't do that. So he came back off the stage, and I walk up. I said, "I just want to tell you, you're the sexiest motherfucker in this room." And he laughed. We shook hands. He gave me a hug. We took a photo. It was just funny. like, you guys think I won't do that for some reason. You've known me long
No,
enough.
what's funny is that you just kept getting cut off. Like, you could
Yeah.
tell that you were
Oh my
building up,
God.
and then somebody would hand you their camera to take
Somebody
know.
handed him the camera, the video,
I was
we were
like,
watching.
all
It
right,
was the
fine.
funniest shit
And
ever.
I would get like, oh, it's gonna happen, and then it happened.
He was waiting
Yeah.
for everyone, a bunch of people around him just in case he said something, and it made it awkward. He was like, "What?"
Yeah.
It was so, and then I woke up the next day, I watched the video, I was
I
like,
would've
it
did
was
the same
just as
shit.
funny.
I would have did the same shit.
Yeah, but I wanted a moment where it was just he and I, and like 4 people talking to him at the same time, you know?
They kept coming up.
Yeah.
I walked up to him. I was pretty buzzed, mind you.
No.
Should I tell him what I told him?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Should I tell him what I told Ogre?
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, Ogre, you know Revenge of the Nerds is the first movie I ever seen a pair of boobs?" He said, "Well, they were a hell of a set." We just started laughing. He said they were a hell of a set.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
they were a good group. They had a lot of fun.
They were a lot of.
Brian
I figured Brian was your favorite.
was my favorite.
Yeah.
That interaction. Brian was fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll drink to that.
I drink to that.
Exactly.
Cheers!
Exactly like you would expect him to be in the movie.
Dude, he's
Yeah.
cool as fuck.
He was-
Yeah.
Like, he is cool as fuck. He's probably had the best personality besides probably, I think, Scout. Scout had a pretty good personality.
Oh, she was pretty friendly. I mean,
Yeah.
she wasn't real kind of put off or like stuck up or like, oh, get away from me. Like she was very friendly. Like she'd stop and talk to anybody. Most of the people there were pretty friendly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, she told my daughter she could be in her movie if she lived in California.
My daughter met Andy.
Friendly.
He got her first piece of con merch for free. Guy said, "Oh, it's her first convention. Let her pick something out." And she picked out this little bookmark, this metal stamp bookmark that had a scene from the original Child's Play on it, and it was when Andy was on the ground and Chucky's doing his "Ade Due Dembella," trying to call the spirits to transfer the body. And then we went over to the celebrity room, and he was standing there like not talking to anybody. So me and him started chit-chatting, and he was selling a picture of that exact same scene for him to sign. And my daughter said, "Oh, look, that's the same thing from here." I was like, "Yeah." And he like saw this little interaction or whatever. And I just kind of looked down and I was like, "What did he say?" And he ended up signing it for her and taking a picture with her and everything. And she was on cloud 9. As soon as we got home, she put on all the Chucky movies and has been like, it's been just on a loop for the past week. She's like, "I still keep thinking about when I met Andy." Like she's so like excited about it. I've created a monster.
Yes, you'll be taking her from now on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dad,
Yeah.
next year you got to get a hotel room, and I'm going to come and stay the whole weekend with you. Yeah, she's all about it. She likes horror movies anyway, and her and I have always bonded over that. But for her to actually go to a convention and to meet her first celebrity, to get her first autograph and everything, oh yeah, she's sold. She's all about it now. All about it.
Horror fans in the blood.
Yeah.
It is. My grandma and aunts used to watch it all the time with my mom. I don't remember my dad watching that many horror movies, honestly.
I mean, my dad would, but I mean, he was more into like action type movies, but like he did take me to the movies quite a bit. And I remember like growing up in the 80s, like the 80s killed it with like movies, like horror movies, action movies. Like it really was a prime time. And I got to go and see a lot of now classic movies like in
Go see
theaters.
one with my dad, a real weird one. Shit. D. Snyder's Brain Scan. I think it was D. Snyder, right?
Yeah.
No, I would.
That was it.
No, D. Snyder did Strange World.
Brain Scan too, I think.
Was it Brain Scan?
Uh,
Producer, we need you to fact check.
Brain Scan, the movie. I remember going to see that. I think he won tickets or something.
Strangeland was what I was thinking.
Brain
Did I say
Scan. It
Strange
had
World?
I think it had the dude from Terminator. John Connor.
Which one? There's been a lot of people that's played John Connor.
Let me see. Hang on. Can't really tell.
I remember the title, but I can't really remember the movie. Brain Scan.
It's the same. I don't.
Edward Furlong was the kid that was in it. It was a fucking weird movie.
Yeah, D. Snyder's done some weird stuff.
I know you've had me watch it with you.
You don't remember that movie?
I don't.
It's something about the computer. I don't even fucking remember the movie now. It's been so long.
Yeah,
But I do remember going to the movies to see it.
I remember the title,
But it wasn't that great because I don't remember it, obviously.
Exactly.
You had to watch it recently with you.
No, it hasn't been on TV.
Oh, no. You have had me watch this with you.
Did we
We
watch it
watched
recently?
this together. Yeah.
It was weird.
We definitely did.
We rewatch it?
Yeah, because it's got the kid from Terminator.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it
trying
again.
to-
I don't remember it again, so it's very not memorable. But it was a weird movie.
Yeah, it was a little weird if I recall.
Yeah.
A big shout out to Rick, selfie dude from Terrifier 2.
Oh,
Yes.
that after party was fire, Rick.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
13X Studios. He does custom Jason masks, which I did scoop up a couple. I told myself I wasn't going to spend money.
I did
I
the
told
same.
myself I wouldn't, and he's in the same room right by where we walked in all the time. And it's like, ooh, Jason mask. And I stopped and I looked all weekend every time, and I had to pull the trigger because he was burning through masks. He started off with
Yeah.
like 3 tables, and he was down to like just a handful. And I was like, yeah, I gotta get these.
Yeah, I had a couple I wanted. I waited too long to get, but I still walked out of there with 2 of them.
Yeah, I got the Jason 3 and I got the Freddy versus Jason, and they're both awesome. They're both awesome.
I ended up with a 9-inch nails and a Homer Simpson.
Dope.
Yeah,
Dope.
and he does custom ones. He
Yeah.
had Beavis and Butthead ones.
Oh,
he had a
yeah.
Punisher one that I was really liking.
Yeah, I wanted the there was a Boba Fett.
Silence of the Lambs one.
Yeah, there were some really good ones. He's at a Jaws like Shark Week convention or something this week. So
Oh, is he?
he's made a ton of Jaws ones. He was taking to that thing. It was pretty cool.
His company
Oh,
name,
man.
I just looked him up.
Yeah, it's
13X
Studios.
Studios.
Yep.
Shout out, Rick.
Full show. Yeah.
And then he had a co-host of the party too.
Cody McCollum calling me. We were live on a podcast, sir. I will call you back, and you'll hear this later.
Who is that?
My buddy, Cody.
You need to get him out here for one. He
Yeah, he's
has
likely to
lots say
pull up.
about movies.
He said he's going to pull up and do a guest appearance on us one day.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he's sitting out front.
Yeah, he's waiting to get on.
No, my cameras didn't go off.
Oh, you sending a picture
I'll
now?
send him a picture now while we're doing it.
That's one way to get a name drop on a podcast.
Right.
Just start calling people while they're recording.
Right? He might not want me to name drop him. I still did though, Bob. Sorry.
But yeah, Rick did have another co-host with that one as well, the Michael Levy. You know, he's got the new stream coming out here soon. So we're looking forward to seeing that once it gets released.
Oh, I can't
Yeah,
wait
they
for
had
that.
The
That movie-
trailer of that actually aired for the first time.
Yeah, at Days
Film-
of the Dead.
yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't release until after Days of the Dead. But if you were at Days of the Dead, you could see the trailer early.
Unfortunately, I couldn't leave the table to go see it, but I did watch it the other day on the stream though.
I think it was close. I think we was chasing the nerds at that point.
Probably.
They're selling some glimmer or some.
You guys are at the
masks.
liquor store.
The liquor store.
Quite possibly.
It was at 9. I didn't know when it was.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow the schedule for the film festival a little more closely next year because I missed quite a bit over there. I didn't realize.
Yeah, there was a ton of shit going on.
Oh yeah, and I mean, in streamed there is a ton of actors in that movie. That
Oh yeah.
we have a list. There's Danielle Harris. Felissa Rose.
Yeah.
Those are the two I stand out to me. Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd's gonna be. You gotta love it.
Man.
Anything with Tony. I did get to meet him a couple years ago at one of the cons. He was awesome as well. Nice guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
And apparently a great karaoke singer from what I hear, but I did not get to witness the set in person that night though. Just talk to people about the aftermath the next morning.
we know better now.
We'll be there next year if you guys want to party. Let's Talk Board knows how.
Yes, we've reserved our booth for next year. We will be there again.
We will have hotel rooms in the whole night.
Yep.
Yeah, we kind of threw this convention thing together at the last minute because it was should we, shouldn't we, and then we pulled the trigger on it. So yeah, didn't have a lot of merch. Didn't really know. We went in kind of cold, but I mean, even for being our first time, I think we did really well. I think we spread the word. I think people were really into what we were doing. Everybody was very inviting. We learned a lot about what to do next time. And yeah, next year when we're there, it's going to be awesome. Everybody should come out. Go ahead and pull the trigger, buy the tickets. They're discounted if you get them now because it's a year early. And come see us because we will probably be recruiting for next year's haunt. So if you want to get involved, let us know. We will have a booth, 2 booths, right?
Yeah, we got 2
The-
tables.
the
We'll,
double
yeah,
booth.
as Let's Talk Horror, we'll be there representing Let's Talk Horror next year, right?
Yeah.
Yep, more about podcast and hopefully some new merch and things for people, and
Get
who
that
knows what other
brand.
what
Get
other
that
ventures we may
brand.
into
Yep.
by then.
And whatever else is going on next year.
Anything
Who
horror and
knows?
horror related. So if you got some ideas, get at us because we are interested because we do love the horror genre, music, movies, like we say at the beginning of every episode, you know, anything horror related, we're into it. And if
Oh.
you're into it, then this is the podcast.
Tobey Maguire was bit by a spider. You ain't heard the new Eminem?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's horror related. In that video, he's wearing a Jason mask at the end of the fucking video.
It's so good.
It's a great video.
He's
That
back.
album is fire. Not really horror related, but he was wearing a Jason mask, so I will bring that up.
It's horror adjacent.
Yeah.
I believe it's horror related.
Oh, we,
Yeah.
we should definitely do an episode on like horror music. 'cause
Music and
they're like
soundtracks.
horrorcore, like as far as, you know, we can do soundtracks of movies or we could do like, you know, there's horrorcore rap, there's horrorcore metal, there's, you know, you got all your Slipknots and your Mushroom Heads and things of that nature. That's all very horror.
I do like my Slipknot,
I do like my Mushroom Head.
and I did get to meet Corey Taylor at Days of the Dead a couple years ago. So
Yeah, you got that autograph.
yes, I did. Got it permanently
That's
marked.
awesome.
Yeah,
Not a lot of people say they did that.
yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah. I thought it'd be cool. I had a couple autographs of him already. Figured I might as well, do the tattoo.
Hell yeah.
Alice Cooper was there that year also.
Love Alice Cooper. I've seen Alice Cooper live more than I've ever seen anybody else. I've probably been to 7, 8 different Alice Cooper shows. Each one was different. Each one mind-blowing. If you've never been to an Alice Cooper concert, I strongly recommend it.
It is an experience.
I went to, I don't even remember what festival it was. It was some festival and he was there and so was Marilyn Manson.
Mhm.
And they went on one right after another and it was badass. It was badass. Marilyn Manson also puts on a fantastic show, like very theatrical.
Yeah, him and Zombie are touring, or were touring, or about to tour again.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd
they're
be good,
both
too.
theatrical. Zombie doesn't do as much as he used to as far as the theatrics. It seems like it's tamed down a little bit, but I mean, he's still a phenomenal show with all the things going on. It's just,
His haunted house was fucking amazing, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
yeah, that was a great trip.
Won't be better than ours.
We're
selling it here.
He had a little
We're
bigger
selling
budget.
it. We're selling it.
Way bigger budget.
We're selling it.
We don't have the Hollywood props.
Yeah.
True.
This is
true.
true.
We're on a mission this year.
Yeah.
We're saving a house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
yeah, that was a good experience.
It was.
It was awesome.
Great American Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in Illinois somewhere. right
Just
outside
south of Chicago. Yeah,
And
That
what
was a
movie
hell of a
was that
trip.
for?
it was right before 31, wasn't it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
31 was one of the haunts.
Yeah,
They switched it because it was supposed to be fucking House of a Thousand Corpses. We
Mhm.
found out on the way. But they did have like band performing that night. Who was it? ICP, I think. I think it was
I
ICP.
can't remember.
I can't remember because I did.
I think it was ICP, and we ended up
No.
leaving because my sister wouldn't go through the haunted house and kind of fucked the rest of the night up for everybody else.
Shocking.
Them damn patents.
Damn patents.
No, she didn't want to stay for the haunted house. Brad Patton did not want to stay for the show.
I was ready to go after Brittany
Yeah.
done fucked that up. She took all my energy with that bullshit.
Well, I had to sit outside and wait for you all to go do it, so then I could
Pitiful.
go after
You
it.
should just left her ass outside and said, "You wait out here, girl. We're going
Should've.
through with the crowd."
Pitiful.
I told you to.
I don't know who was more
I would've.
pitiful, her or Daniel. It was both sad all the way around. But she can't help it. She was scared.
At least I got to go through it, but
Yeah. It sucked to be scared like that.
Oh, just wait if you come through the hen house this year, Brittany.
She won't.
We gonna get
I'm gonna
you.
have people fuck with you, especially they're gonna see your picture.
her daughters will come through it. She won't.
Yeah, I could see that.
No, she'll go through it.
She'll go through.
Maybe.
I
Lights
thought she
on,
came through my
lights
haunted
on
house
October 19th.
last year. I
she'll
was
be through
surprised
it.
about that.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of excitement with pretty much everybody that I've talked to about this. as soon as I started getting into the nuts and bolts of like what it is and how it's different, they put it, you see that there's this moment where they register and like, oh, so I'm going to get a haunted tour and a haunted house. So how much is this going to be? And you tell them $25 and they're like, what? Because I mean, just a standard haunt, you know, $35-$40, you know, standing outside in the rain for hours in the cold. You get up there, you throw some money at it, you walk through a dark room and a couple things go boo, and that's it. And this is not what we're doing.
No.
We're doing something different. It's going to be an experience and everybody's going to get their own experience.
It's going to be fucking amazing.
Give the actors some freedom to like kind of run their room.
Without giving you guys too much, it is going to be fucking amazing. But we're kind of going to go old school too.
Oh, you're going to get the classic jumps. There's going to be some of that, but the way it's set up, the way it's going to be ran is going to be different.
Yeah,
from
we're not going like
house.
these standard haunted house and going with all these crazy animatronics. We're going to go with people that actually there to scare you.
We're going to have actors who are going to develop like what they're doing and give them a little bit of freedom. You know, have 2 or 3 different scenes that they like, and they can switch it up and make it a unique experience. You know, you go through once, you're going to have a good time. You go through again, you're still going to have a good time, but it's going to be different. Maybe they switch it up. Maybe they do a different scene that time. You don't know.
You never know.
But if you would like to come out and volunteer or be an actor in it, we are still looking for volunteers. We still need people to come through. So please check us out. Again, shameless plug, haunting@thehanahouse.com.
Yeah. Well, you guys want to cut this one? I think we're about there.
We just did a little recap of Days of the Dead and plugged our stuff a few times. I think we can call that.
Yeah,
Let's call her.
Overall, it was a great weekend. You know, we highly recommend it to everybody, and we'll be doing it again next year. Come and see us.
Shout out to Monica and Dave for coming and doing our makeup for us too.
Oh yeah. How do we not? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
And Aja.
Yeah.
And Chloe.
And Chloe for walking around and representing us as well.
Allie and Rob for keeping us company so we can work the room or watch the kids.
Just get a few minutes of sanity away from the table.
And the Hannah House for working with
Hannah
us.
House, big shout out.
You know, letting us have this opportunity and trusting us with their name to help, you know, rejuvenate what they're doing there and giving us this opportunity. You know, big shout out to Hannah House.
Shout out to Sharon too.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sharon's awesome.
Sharon is awesome.
We love Sharon.
All right, guys. Well, have a great weekend. So we'll talk to you next time.
We'll see you next time on
Let's Talk Horror.